Welcome to another edition of From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio, hosted by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note, JV. Shout out our brother Stro. He is not on the episode this week, but he will be back next week. So salute to Stro as always.
Yep.
Shout out everybody who supports the show as well. Like we appreciate it. Obviously, everyone's in isolation under quarantine, so make sure everyone is. I hope everyone's doing well. But like I said, the support is much appreciated. Before we kick off the show as well, how the show is going to continue for the foreseeable is the audio will go out on, as always, on the Pi Radio Spotify and the Pi Radio iTunes. So that will stay the same, but the visual will go onto the Sarcasm City channel, which is another podcast I co-host. So if you want to find the visual, which will go out on the Monday, just type in Sarcasm City and it will pop up, and the video will be on there also. We got to keep the show rolling, you feel me?
Yep.
Keep the show. And also as well, this will go out live. Obviously, we're recording this the day before, but this will go out live 7 to 8 on Pi Radio as well. So you'll be listening live, and then obviously you can watch the video. The video will be live straight after, then the audio will be out probably the next day. But let's get into the motherfucking show anyway.
Yeah.
Yo, we have to start with Kyle Walker. Like, we have to start with Kyle Walker. Bear in mind, before we get into what he did, just the day before, he had put out a video telling everybody to stay at home, safe during lockdown. Like,
Even though he did that.
you cannot make this up. Just the day before, he put out a video saying everybody stay. Similar to the Jack Grealish one, everybody stay safe, stay indoors. This is serious. Listen to the government, etc., etc. So I'm gonna read the article. People who don't know in it, I'm gonna read the article. Bear with me.
Let him know.
Say that again, fam.
So let him know.
Yeah, for real. So here we go. So the article is from the Metro. This Manchester City defender Kyle Walker breaks lockdown rules by hosting sex party at his flat. So Manchester City defender Kyle Walker has issued an apology after he after he floated the coronavirus lockdown by hosting a sex party at his flat with two escorts. A report in The Sun has revealed that Walker and a friend had invited the two women to his flat in Cheshire on Tuesday evening. But earlier that day, Walker had urged his 1.5 million followers on Twitter to observe the coronavirus lockdown rules in place. So he said, please everyone stay at home, look after one another through this difficult time and check in on loved ones, but don't visit them, he posted. So that's the day before. So the girl is called, have you seen the picture? The girl's all right, You seen the girl? There was two of them, but it's only a picture of one. Obviously, I know you're faithful. You're a faithful black man. I know black men don't cheat. I know this. Yeah, black men don't cheat. But she's called Louise McNamara, 21, who claims she left Walker's apartment at around 2 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Said she was paid $2,200 in cash. She told The Sun, I work with an agency in Manchester. I got a message from my boss saying a high-profile client was looking for somebody classy. I got a cab from Manchester to the address, and the driver picked me up outside and took me to the gates of his apartment. On the one hand, he's inviting strangers round to his house for sex, and the next day he's lecturing everyone on the need to stay safe. He's a hypocrite. I'm putting people at risk. Yo, you know what is crazy times, yeah? When you got escorts taking the moral high ground on things like this,
There you go.
Say that again.
So there you go.
There you go. Escorts taking the moral high ground. Oh my! So she said, he's a hypocrite and putting people at risk. So Kyle Walker did the whole apology thing. I want to take the opportunity to issue a public apology for the choices I made last week. I understand that my position as a professional footballer brings the responsibility of being a role model. As such, I want to apologize to my family, friends, football club supporters, and the public for letting them down. Yeah, so there's more to it, but yeah, basically the rollout you would expect from the apology from a footballer for this. So like I stated, so Kyle Walker out here trying to get cheeks. Obviously, we've got to keep it clean because it's on Pi Radio, but yeah, like, Fam, like, where do we even start? Like, there's so much to delve into. Like I said, first that he put out stay at home the day before. And then the very next day he thought, all right, let me invite two chicks because it was two girl and he was with his boy as well in it. And so
Oh,
yeah, he was with his boy as well in it. Yeah.
oh, I thought it was just three of them.
Nah. He wasn't on the his
Oh,
boy was there as well.
I was gonna say if it was the three of them, it would have been a better treble than they did last season.
You know what? It would have been, you know. You ain't even lying, yo. You are not even lying. You are not lying. If you even them two round, I'd rate it more. I'd rate it more too. This guy was like, all right, if I'm gonna get, you get me, if I'm gonna get some cheeks, like let me get two pairs, you feel me? Like he was all in. And it is a better treble. Someone on Twitter said, because obviously his friend was there and he brought a gal for his friend. Someone on Twitter said, that's the first assist he's had in 18 months. So I was like, oh, so yeah. So boom. So unlike obviously we here laughing and joking, but it is a serious matter. And obviously social media doesn't take these type of things serious. Well, some people do. Like I said, I keep repeating myself. It's very the irony of it that just the day before he put out that message and then that happened. Like stay indoors, people. Even for females, it's not worth it.
He's slipping, yeah. Number one, yeah. How's this story even got out? Because to me, exactly, you got what I'm saying. Like, his neighbor's not seeing it, yeah. It's probably the taxi. It could have been, could all have been a taxi driver, yeah. Could all have been a two girl. She's already got her pants into the newspaper.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? How did the newspaper find her?
Yeah.
If she's who told, you know what I'm saying? That could be anyone on the earth. But that's why he's slipping in these times. Like, all to be all serious, in these times, yeah. Like, you know, you can't be slipping as a footballer, yeah. So you can't be slipping as a footballer in quarantine. It's like double jeopardy, bro. You get what I'm saying?
True.
That's like a double gamble.
Yeah.
I'm saying. And he's not even just snuck around a girl he knows, bro. He snuck around a stranger who he's had to pay. You get me?
£2,200.
For all the money they got, they ain't got no game. Should have just snuck around something he knows. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure he has things. I'm sure he has females that he could have called in this time if you really wanted it that bad. Because I'm guessing, obviously, by this, because no one said anything, that he is single and he has no kids.
I don't think
Is he not single?
I'm sure this guy is not single, you know.
Well, I did see someone say so. Obviously, I was too busy laughing going through the tweets, but I did see somebody mention that he does have a wife. Well,
yeah.
I'm not sure if it's an ex-wife or what, but obviously everyone's just getting these jokes off his social media.
Bro, this is what I mean, man. In today's climate, these men need to be a lot more.
Yeah, you got to be savvy. You have to be much more savvy. But yeah, she sold it to the paper because even on Twitter again, people were saying, "Oh, that the girl's like no." Yeah, she's called, like you said in the article, her name. She got out there, Louise McNamara. You feel me? And she was like, "All right, let me put myself on." It's like she's messed up her own bag. Because now, what footballers are say, you hear me? Say for instance, it would have happened. She didn't say anything. Then Kyle Walker could put her onto somebody else, another City player, you feel me, or just another footballer in general. Then she's making money on the side, but she just baited herself up. She got the small bag from him, and then the bag from the Sun, and then that's that.
Nah, man, she's cool now. Her rates have gone up.
You reckon her rates are going? You reckon so?
It's like anything in it. You got your you know, when you go into certain, you look on a business and you think, oh right, you know, who's their previous clients? She's got her previous there, bro.
I don't think that's happening.
Bro, what's it called? There's a word.
You know what? I don't think it's like eating at a restaurant, fam. I don't think it works like that. You feel me? It's not like an artist working. It's not like a producer working with an artist. Like you go to a producer and he's working with this artist and this artist and this artist. You're like, yeah, okay. Like if I'm getting an escort, I ain't fussed about who she's been with previously. Like, that's not my concern. That means nothing.
That's a repertoire now. You get me?
That means nothing. That means
That's the CV there. She's got Kyle Walker on the CV.
Well, that's it though. That's it now. Like, no other footballer or high-profile celebrity is gonna go anywhere near her now, especially in these times. She could have been on the slide doing this. Think about it. She went, Kyle Walker didn't say nothing. Bam, she gets her 2,200. He puts her onto a teammate or a fellow footballer. Boom, that's another bag, and then so forth, and then it's the snowball effect.
You know, I don't get when did she hit him with like the quarantine package? She could have like got at least a quick turn out of him.
You know what? Business is probably slow. So she was like, all right, let me get this 2,200 and go get it. But I don't even think it was 2,200 for her because obviously it was two girls. I think it was in total. So they would have had to split that. They would have had to split that.
So they went for the slow money or no money.
Yeah, they went for this. Man said they went for the slow money or no money. That's what it is. Business is slow. Get me? Man, clients who would be calling them are shacked up with their wives and girlfriends and misses and kids and stuff. So business.
It is. I've just clocked it, bro.
Yeah, go on.
I don't think they can put that down to the government as, you know, like the self-employed to get the wage.
No claiming 80%. There you go. There's no going on furlough. Right? I mean, there's no 80%.
Yeah.
There's no sick pay.
Fair dues.
Fair dues is literally pay as you play in it. So yeah,
go pay to play contract. You know what? Tuesday is giving it up for free. You know what? All fair dues. Fair dues in that.
So she was like, obviously that's why she's gone, got the bag from him, got that small bag from the son, but she better hope that this quarantine doesn't continue because if not, like, she has messed it up for her. No, like, if I'm a fellow footballer and I'm going down that route, I ain't going there her.
Nah, I know what she's done, bro.
Go on, what do you reckon?
I actually know it now, no jokes. So she's got her name out, yeah? And then if people know where to find her, they know who to hit up in quarantine. That's what she's done, bro.
You reckon it's that? But could you risk it?
Bro, she's risked it.
Yeah, she's risked it. She's gone all in. Where I thought you was going to go is that people know where to find her. And then she's like, all right, I'm good looking. I've got my name out there. Let me create an OnlyFans account. That's what I thought you was going to say.
It could be all of that.
That's the way. Like, if she's gone that way, then that's what that is. But no one from an OnlyFans account is... No one who's going to sign up to an OnlyFans account is going to pay £2,200. Like, that's not happening. No one's dropping 2 bags.
These internet dons are a bit...
They're great, but they are. I'm not saying they won't spend the money. She'll get a fan base. Like, don't get mistaken, she'll get a fan base because there's some monsters out here with fan bases, so she'll get a fan base. No disrespect to anyone. Obviously, anyone get the bag by any means necessary, you feel me? But what I'm saying is, no one's spending that amount of money in one night. Where she had Kyle Walker there. He could have hit her up again. Clearly.
Yeah.
He could have hit her. He can't now. He's not going to now.
Yeah. She messed that one up still.
She messed that up, innit? Well, yes, people, obviously this is from a third eye view and it is a football show, but this is what happens with stroke.
Went a bit off topic, but it had to be said. I don't know what this Kyle Walker is on.
That's what I'm saying. So, all right, what topic do you want to move on to next?
Well, yeah, back to the football topics.
Yeah.
It was the...
What's there, fam? Do you think that we've seen it twice now with Kyle Walker and then putting out a statement and then something's happened? And Jack Grealish did the same thing. And I'm not sure if you've seen it, but Flex from the United stand did an interview with Troy Deeney. And Troy Deeney spoke on a great interview, by the way, people. Go check it out. Go watch it if you haven't, fam, as well. Troy Deeney spoke on the Jack Grealish, what Jack Grealish did, and he's like, Jack's my boy. And he's like, the thing is with Jack, he's like, what he did was stupid, was wrong, etc. I'm not condoning that. But he's saying the video that he put out the day before the crash happened, he stated, he was like, that's not from Jack, that's the club. So what I want to ask you is, do you reckon the club should stop making players put out statements and videos and telling everyone stay safe?
what I think is if they're gonna tell him to put out a statement, yeah, this would be me. This is how I would put it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna tell someone to put out a statement, at least make it look to the people like you are following this. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear
If you put out this statement, yeah, and this is how I just say it because I'm a realist. I'd be like, put out the statement, but if you're gonna do that, don't get caught in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, put out the statement, but then I don't want to see you next week in the papers. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
in the papers, or maybe they just need to be more selective with who they're picking. Like I don't know Kyle Walker, I don't know Jack Grealish, but if I'm looking at the Villa squad, I'm not picking Jack Grealish to do that video.
no, he's probably the
because he's
he
their
would
he's their poster.
man
Yeah,
of the group.
that's true. That's true. But I'm not picking just me, just from the outside looking in. I don't know anything about Villa. I'm sure Villa fans will tell me he's not the one I'm picking. I'm looking at that Manchester City squad. I can see Kyle Walker's a little bit older, but I'm not picking Kyle Walker to do that.
You know who I pick?
Yeah, go
on. Now this is serious for City. I know who I pick for City. Sterling.
See, that makes sense.
Family man. You know Sterling's not actually going to go out and do nothing.
Yeah.
He's got a family there and he's got kids there.
That makes sense.
If you're someone like, how can I put it? Sterling will be perfect because, as I said, he's a family man. He's got his kids there. I wouldn't pick someone who is 28 to 30 years old or however old Kyle Walker is around that age, somewhere single or just has a wife. Then it's a bit sticky, isn't it? You know,
I'm saying
capabilities of going out. You know what I mean? If this was a normal Saturday night, he's probably not going to be in. Do you get what I mean?
That's true. I think they do have to pick. They have to be more selective and pick better. Obviously, that's not condoning what either of them did. What Grealish did was wrong. What Kyle Walker did was wrong. But I'm just saying the clubs need to help. The clubs also need to help the players, is what I'm stating. Like putting out these things. Or the club could just put out a statement. The club don't necessarily need a player. The club can put out that same statement saying everyone needs to stay in, etc., etc.
Exactly. That's that. Because like I said, Sterling, like I was just saying, and Sterling would most likely, most of the time, unless he's got a babysitter, he's going to be in.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone like Kyle Walker, I don't know his personal life, obviously, but if he's not got kids basically in that house with him, he's not gonna, you know what I mean? He's gonna be out in it, gonna be gallivanting.
That's facts.
So there you go. But yeah, they need to come on. There's more boring guys than him. There's a boring guy in every club. Like if that was Liverpool, you pick Milner in it. You pick Milner. Do you get what I'm saying? This is done and dusted.
Milner is the perfect guy for that. Like you would pick Milner 1,000%. 1,000%. Like if you're not, like if you're looking at it from a United perspective, you're not necessarily like you ain't gonna pick a Lingard or a Marcus Rashford.
Yes.
A Martial. Like I'm not gonna pick one of them. I'm not gonna pick one of them.
I would pick if it was United, you know I'd pick.
Go on.
I'd pick Phil Jones.
Jones.
I'd pick Phil Jones. I'd pick Phil Jones because he knows he's clumsy enough on the football pitch. So he's probably not even going to risk anything. Like, he'd just be like, yeah, I'm not even going to risk it, mate. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would pick the ones you've not, like a Phil Jones or someone you don't hate anything about. Like, say, for instance, a Wan-Bissaka. You don't hate anything off field about Wan-Bissaka.
A Juan Mata.
A Juan Mata is perfect. Yeah. A Juan Mata, that's perfect. Somebody like that. Family man. Exactly.
I'm back in. Juan Mata is at home with his slippers on, sipping some sangria, bro. He's chilling. He ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I get what you're saying.
He ain't going nowhere. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the clubs do need to be a little bit more clever when they're choosing players to do those type of things, or just release the statement themselves. But sorry, I cut you off. Go on, family. What topic was you gonna go?
It was with clubs. I've seen this week. I think it's the Belgian league.
Yeah.
They're trying to basically apply to UEFA to say, right, that's it. We want our league done. Yeah. And I think what it was, they're declaring Bruges as the champions.
Yeah.
We played recently in United played them recently in Europa League, didn't we?
Yeah.
pretty good team. I think what they were saying with theirs is declare Bruges champions, but no one gets relegated and no one goes up.
See that? So if you're a team that's, say, on the cusp of getting promoted, how irritated would you be? You really voiding the season sounds good. It sounds good when you say it, but it sounds like an easy solution. But like when you look into it in detail, there's no way you can void the season. You have to finish the season. No way you can void it.
But here's the thing: that one doesn't make any sense. Because if it's just simply being voided, yeah, and no one's going up and no one's going down, then you should be declaring champions. Why that to me is basic. That league should just be void and there's nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
When we look back on that in the past for this season, it should just be a line. There's nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a champions, but then people can't get relegated or people can't get promoted. That doesn't make any sense.
Makes 0 sense, fam. That can't run.
That's only beneficial for the champions. That's like saying, all right, now we void the Prem, Liverpool are champions, but no one gets relegated and no one gets promoted. That wouldn't make any sense.
That can't run. Not in the slightest. It don't make no type of sense.
And then off the back of this, Mark Overmars, you remember, great player back in the day. He's the Ajax, one of the Ajax directors, basically. And he's tried to come out and say, yeah, we should do the same in Holland. But then Van Gaal, I seen Van Gaal, the legend, Big Louis, he's come out and he said, "Yous are just doing that for your own gain. You're using the corona for your own gain." Do you get what I mean?
Big facts. That can't run. That can't, like, again, you cannot void in the season. Sounds great, but you cannot just avoid the season. Like, no, there's too much. There's too many things at stake for too many clubs. Like, you can't just, void Liverpool the league. I mean, give Liverpool the league. That's cool. But then what about Champions League? What about relegation? What about the difference between a team finishing 14th and a team finishing 7th? Look how we spoke constantly on previous shows how tight the league was in terms of points and how it was. Liverpool and City, then it was like from 3rd to 10th, anybody could finish in the European places, and then from 11th to the bottom of the league, anybody can get relegated. Arsenal were what, like 10th, 11th when the season when the season came to a halt, and they were what, 6-7 points off 5th. So it was like, how are you going to tell them with 9-10 games to go, you're just going to finish 10th? Who knows what could have happened?
Yeah, that's like all they need to win there is like 2-3 games and a couple of results go away.
That's what I'm saying. One second, I'm just turning on the plug switch for the laptop.
Yeah.
That's all. Making sure it's on. But yeah, go on, fam. Continue.
No, because it's one of them. It doesn't. It's quite irritating that these people are just like Van Gaal said. It's very right. They're using the corona for their own gain because it's not. It's just like, all right then. It's like we're playing now football in the park. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I go, oh, you know what? I'm tired now, bro. Yeah. I'm winning 8-5, so I win.
Yeah, it don't work like that. It's like the game 10. Like you probably would have won. You probably would have won. Where it's like the game's up to 10.
That's why you have next goal wins. Do you know what I mean?
Say that again.
That's why when you're playing like that, you have next goal wins. Yeah. So then that's a solution. You know what I'm saying? Though it might be.
We can't do next goals wins with the Premier League and the Championship and League One and League Two and the Spanish League and the Italian League and the French League and the Dutch League, etc., etc. The Portuguese League, like this can't run. Like the authority. Go on.
I've been thinking this for a while, and you know what I think it might be then? All right then. Say like, say for instance, me and you now, we're the clubs who are debating whether we're going to qualify for Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should all hit like a little playoff thing. So then maybe if you have 5th from basically what So, all right then.
Go on.
Are we saying Leicester? Are we saying Leicester are fully in?
Go on. I'm listening.
Are we saying Leicester are fully in the Champions League, or do you think they could still be caught?
See, that's the problem. They can still be caught. That's the issue you have. Like, I like the idea of a playoff, but then who do you cut off? Say, for instance, you cut off, all right, you say the playoff from 3rd to 8th. The teams that are 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th can all say, well, we're only a win and a draw away from that. We should be in the playoffs. There's too many variables.
But I think what you could do then is you could think it. You could say to them, all right then, number one, yeah.
Go on.
This would reduce the amount of games, yeah, which then reduces the risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we basically say Liverpool, yeah, all right, yeah, City, yeah, okay. But City is pending, yeah.
That's
pending,
yeah.
So then what we do is we do the playoff, yeah,
mm-hmm.
And then say City get kicked out, whoever was in the place then gets that place. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but
so then
go on.
What you do is you'd have that playoff system, and I'd do it from Leicester down to Arsenal, yeah,
mm-hmm.
And then I'd do a concurrent one for the thingy as well, for the relegation.
But then that means how that. So I understand what you're saying, but then so if you do one from the relegation, what place are you doing it from? You're doing it from 14th to 20th, 11th to 20th, 15th to what positions are you doing it?
Look, I looked at the table.
Yeah.
But what I would do, look at the table, and if anyone is mathematically safe, you're just not void, but you're alive. You're not in it.
But that's where the issue arises is that I think the whole bottom half is still not mathematically safe.
Is there no one like it?
I think anyone from 11th to 20th can still mathematically be relegated. So imagine you're the 11th place team, you go into the playoffs and you lose and you get relegated. How or not? We were 11th with 10 games to go. The likelihood of us getting relegated was very little. Was what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, was very little. Our hopes of staying up were much more better than the team that was the teams that were in the bottom three, than the team that was 17th, 16th, 15th, etc. That's why you can't. What they need to do is, like I said, wait until all this blows over, and we just have to push this back until it can resume, even if it's behind closed doors.
Oh no, I think it's over.
And I think they just have to play it 2 games a week for 3 months. Or however long it takes. Because what is there? There's 10 games left, is it? Or something of that nature. So let's say it's 10. So let's say it's 10 games left. So let's say for instance it is 10 games left. You play 2 games a week for a month. Right. Yeah. So that boxes it. That gets the Premier League boxed off. That gets all the other leagues boxed up. That's exactly how they should go about it. And then you look about starting the next season in ample time to get it up and running. And if you have to scrap a League Cup, a FA Cup, so be it. And
I think they might have to scrap. Well, this might be anyway because a lot of the lower leagues have been scrapped anyway. But like with all these, like the FA Cup only really starts properly till after Christmas, innit?
Yeah.
I think they should just have it from then.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Or figure out or even with the FA, I think they should just League Cup, FA Cup. Obviously, I know that them gate receipts can keep certain lower league clubs afloat, but that just has to go for the time being. It has to just go for the time being. I'm talking about next season once the season's done.
Or even League Cup gets fulfilled.
Yeah.
And they start doing what teams have been doing anyway. Just play your reserves. If you really want to keep the League Cup, bang your reserves in.
There you go. That's exactly what you can do. Play your under 23s, play your reserve players. And then that will help keep. And you can do that with the FA Cup. Just have your under 23 team in it, or there's many things they can do. I think they can manage it. I just think because there's so much money at stake, the authorities are trying to rush it. So that when I say they're trying to rush it, they're trying to rush a conclusion. But this conclusion, if you get this one wrong, it's going to cause so much more mess down the line. You have to get this right now. Stop this at the source because it's already a mess, and that's not the footballing authority's fault. But if you get this one wrong now, this is going to cause so much issues. Like people are forgetting, obviously, the Euros has been pushed back. So if you get this wrong, not only does it mess up the next Premier League, it messes up the Champions League, it messes up the Europa League, it messes up the FA Cup, the League Cup. And then people forget other international tournaments. You got African Cup of Nations, which got moved to, that was supposed to be January. So that's going to get moved now. And then the World Cup in 2022, we was going to have a mid-season break anyway, and that was going to go to Qatar. So this can all easily, in a flash, you know how quick time goes. In a flash, all these competitions can be on top of each other. So they have to get this right now. But if they get this wrong, it's going to be a bigger mess. Say again, fam?
It's like a super domino effect.
Super, and yeah, I like the fact that you used the word super domino effect, because that's what it is. It's not just, oh, we got this wrong. Like, this is a super domino effect that could mess up football for the next. At the moment, it's just this season that's messed up. This could be 4 or 5 seasons if they get this wrong. That's why I'm saying they need to make sure they get it right. Just wait and play it behind closed doors, get the season finished, and then look from there. Then you're at a standpoint where it's like, all right, we can start the next season, which would be 2021. Yeah, it would be 2021. Yeah, 2021 from whenever. So even if we have to start it, say, in October or November or that type of thing, and then maybe push back the Euros just till they get it sorted. I forget this whole, I thought it was stupid about a Winter World Cup anyway, but that's just me. World Cup should be where it is, or just moving it around.
This was my full thing with the morning about what we're going to do. Now, you've literally moved the World Cup for peas, yeah? So, all right, you moved the World Cup for peas, yeah? Because it's definitely for peas.
Of course it's for peas, because that's where the money is in the Middle East. Yeah, of course it's for peas.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's not a shock that it's going to, like, you know, the oil-rich Middle East. You know what I mean? I didn't win the World Cup for peas when it was in South Africa, and it was hot to us, and man were dead when they're playing in midday, innit? Because South Africa ain't giving man no hella peas. You know what I mean?
People forget that's South Africa, you feel me? Africa. It's hot over there, people.
Water breaks. That was the first World Cup I've seen visually with water breaks. Remember?
Yeah, I think the last one they had, the last World Cup they had that had water breaks, if someone don't mistake. Was it? It might have been USA 94.
There you go. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's my stat for the show, innit? Since that's the show, innit? That's my stat. It might have been USA. It might have been USA 94. I think that, because I remember it being really hot.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I remember that looking back on it. Yeah. Obviously, we would have been
watching. Yeah. We didn't know what's going on.
That's the first one I watched myself, was the South Africa one, and I remember like, what's going on here, man? Drinking up juice, you know what I mean?
Big facts. Nah,
but saying if they can move the World Cup for peas, yeah, because that was my point. If they can move that for peas, then they can sort all of this out. Do you know what I mean? You can sort it out. It's not impossible for them to come up with a solution to this. No. Not at all.
Not in the slightest. It's just if they want to be patient enough, because obviously they're just from what I'm guessing, looking at their authorities with the solutions that have been bandied about, they're just looking at it like, we're losing money, let's recoup this money. Do not worry about the money, because what they need to realize is that once football is back, the numbers are going to be through the roof. They are going to be record-breaking numbers. The first game back could be an early kickoff on a Saturday, 12:30, and it could be Norwich Southampton. That is going to do record-breaking numbers. Any game you put on, it could be Championship, League One, League Two, is going to do record-breaking numbers, because people are so desperate for sport. And that's before even letting fans back into grounds. I'm just talking about on TV. Imagine it, a Super Sunday, and it was United City. Crazy numbers.
Yeah, gone clear.
Like, that is going to be record-breaking numbers for BT, Sky, whoever puts that on, streaming through the roof. Social media is going to have an absolute meltdown because we've been so desperate for it.
You know what that could be like?
Go on.
That could be like, you know, when they say, oh, the World Cup final had this many millions of viewers worldwide. The Prem games, the first set of Prem games are going to be like that worldwide.
Worldwide, yes. And what it will also do as well, because what I noticed with when we have international tournaments, the Euros and World Cup, people who don't normally speak football, everybody's getting involved. Yeah. It's going to have that vibe, because we've been starved of it for so long. And I think it's only been like 3-4 weeks, but it feels like 3 or 4 years already. People are desperate. So Sky subscriptions are going to be through the roof. BT, so I'm like, I don't know why are they so worried about this. Like, people like even merchandise at the shops is going to be through the roof.
Yeah, it will come. It will all come.
It's going to just relax. But obviously, these people thinking short man, not long man. But it is what it is. It is what it is. That's them for you.
The opposite to that girl before.
They thinking up. That's it. They thinking up. Yes, this is what I'm saying. The same way. See that? That's why from a third eye view is such a beautiful thing because we can make things correlate and match that up. See how she was looking at the money wrong. The authorities are looking at the money wrong. Like, stop thinking short-term money. Think long-term. Yeah, that's what that is. But yeah, go on. What's the next topic you want to speak on? I'm just getting a drink. Go on.
Yeah, next topic is it's a strange one for me because it's Barcelona and Neymar, isn't it?
Okay.
We're back to there again, and this one is really strange for me because it's like it's the marriage what they wanted, yeah, and then they got that relationship, and then things went sour. And I think instead of him just sitting down, they all should have just sat down and talked it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just got really rash real quick, and everyone just went their separate ways. But they went their separate ways, and then looking back, still, you know what I'm saying? Both looking back, like.
I fully understand what you're saying. Yeah, I fully understand.
In Paris, thinking, Messi and that doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Messi's there, probably playing with Dembele, thinking Neymar would have done that. And you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And it's coming like every season since he's left now. You want him back. Yeah. You want him back. And I've seen it. That's why I'm bringing it on, because today I've seen they're hoping to swap Griezmann. Could be even possibly Griezmann and Dembele for Neymar.
To me, that makes sense. Barcelona shouldn't have sold Neymar, and Neymar shouldn't have left. Because he was, what I'm guessing, this is just me from the outside looking in. Pardon me. Neymar, all he had to do was wait, and Messi would have passed him that crown.
Yeah.
Just wait. Same way Ronaldinho passed it to Messi. Messi passed it to Neymar. But it seemed Neymar was like, I want to be my own man. I don't want to be ego. You just seem very egotistical. Ego, I want to be my own man, blah, blah, blah. Let me go PSG. But you've gone PSG. Not only has it not worked out in terms of boosting your profile as a player, even though you're a talented player, to me, you're even the best player at PSG. Mbappe is the main man to me.
Yeah, Mbappe.
I look at Mbappe. Mbappe to me is the main man at PSG.
I'll be real. If they want to get anyone, they want to go with
Mbappe. Yeah.
But I already think behind closed doors, because I think this is how transfers are getting now. I think it's set for him. Mbappe is going to go Real, and Neymar's going to go back to Barca. I think whether, you know what I think it is? I think it's one of these. I think it's whether, because Barca and Madrid both do this. They keep they drill you with the same story till they get the guy, don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
They did it to United back in the day with Ronaldo. Like, I think Ronaldo went there and he was like, I can't even remember what age he went. Probably like 26, but that rumor was from when he was about 22. When he had like his first bad season, where we knew like he was the man. That was the she say for about 4 years, and then they finally got him.
Yeah, because we did the deal for him before. Well, Madrid did the deal the season before, and then Fergie said to him, "Just give us one more year," and then he gave us the one more year, and then he left, which made sense.
But this is what I think it's a case of Barca are looking and they're thinking, you know what? His legs are going. Messi's not the same. Don't get me wrong. He can still do his moments of magic.
Yeah, he's still levels.
Yeah. But he's not the dribbler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's come out of his game. And the dribbling's come out of Messi's game. Barcelona have got slower.
True.
If that's coincided with Neymar leaving, so Neymar's left, you know what I mean? You've had your Xavi's, your Iniestas go all around within the same time period. Their football has gradually slowed down.
Yeah, facts.
And I think this is what it is with them. Because if you think now, every year, you have to think every year since what? Your Xavi and your Neymars. They've spent 100, they've bought 100 mil player every year.
They've tried. Like, they've tried to replicate and keep it going. Your Griezmann, who hasn't really worked out. Obviously, Dembele went and got a bad injury. And then
Coutinho.
Yeah, it's up for debate. They tried the Coutinho. So that's three that we just mentioned there. And it's not really worked out. To me, someone just had to tell Neymar, chill. There's nothing wrong with being the understudy to arguably the greatest player of all time. Like, I don't think he's the greatest player of all time, but he's in the conversation. If someone says he is, I'm not going to argue you down and say you're not. So it's like, just chill.
That's the thing. It's not like he was being outshined. It's not like he was being outshined by a player who was inferior to him, who was just playing very well at the time. It's messy, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's messy. Like, it's okay. Like, if I'm number 2 to Messi, cool. Get me? Like, even though you have a big ego, you still have to know yourself. Like, I have a big ego, but it's like, I still have to know myself, you feel me? Like, I'm underneath Messi. That's cool. That's like, I have no issue with that. Playing with Messi is going to help me. Not only does it help me improve my game individually, I'm also much more likely to win trophies with him and get winners' medals. Because all Neymar's won when he's been at PSG is the league and French Cup. That's it.
Which they win anyway.
That's it. Like, so that's it. Like, they've been barely getting to the last stages of just before the season was voided. That was the first time PSG had been in the quarterfinals, hadn't it?
There you go.
Since the whole takeover. So it's like, just relax. Like, someone has to be in his ear and just be like, just relax. You are Neymar.
Yeah.
You will get the crown.
Yeah, he's good. You know what? Right. Let's think of it, yeah. Let's think of it honestly. Who else is going to get that? So let's just obviously Ronaldo and Messi, they're on their way. Like I seen the other day, Ronaldo's 35 now. I couldn't believe that.
That's what I
couldn't believe that. Because when I seen that, I thought, nah, even though he's physically he's in a mad shape.
Yeah.
But if he gets a bad injury, it's done. It's probably done. Same with Messi now. If they get their next bad, when you get over that 33, you know what I mean? When you get to that age, you get them bad injuries, what you probably take a few months for in your 20s. It's taking probably up to a year. Do you know what I mean?
To get fully back to speed. Yeah.
Yeah. If we look at them like that now, yeah. If you look at them like they're done, but obviously we know they're not done. They still got the talent. But if you look at it like their time's ticking, yeah. Mbappe, yeah, and Neymar are the two players who are at that certain level now who've been consistent.
That's it.
Below them, I'd struggle to say someone who isn't just a fresh new one. Like Sancho looks as if he could.
Yes.
Maybe.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
yes, exactly. Sancho, there is because we spoke on many previous shows about just the decline in football overall. There wasn't many worldies out there. If you're looking at it behind Ronaldo and Messi are on another planet. When you're looking in that next tier of like, all right, once these two disappear, who is in that space that can take them over? There's very few. You got Neymar, Mbappe, possibly Sancho. People were looking at Hazard. He went to Madrid and has flopped, so that's not worked out. Like, there isn't really anyone else. And the thing is with Neymar, if he would have stayed at Barcelona, there was a very, very, very high chance that once Messi did pass him the crown, Barcelona then go and sign Mbappe.
Yes.
And he's with Mbappe anyway in a better predicament, in a better team.
And I think Neymar staying at Barcelona, he would have been a better player now.
Yeah, he definitely would have been a better player now.
And
yeah.
It's funny you just said that about, how good the players are in this generation, because I read something from Big Ronaldo, Fat Ronaldo.
Yeah. The original Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, yeah. The Brazilian one. Yeah. No, I take back the Fat Ronaldo. OG Ronaldo, yeah.
OG Ronaldo. Woo!
He literally said the other day, he said, well, I don't know if he said it the other day. I seen the quote the other day. Might have been an old one. But I seen it and he said, don't get me wrong, Ronaldo and Messi are magical, but my generation was a lot better.
Of course.
He said we had me, we had Zidane, we had Ronaldinho, we had Figo, and he named about 10 players, and I went, there's no equivalent nowadays.
No equivalent. We spoke on this. No equivalent. Like, I seen a picture, it was on Twitter, and it's like a 90s football account. and they just post up like old pictures of legends or like so like old pictures of legends or old clips of legends. And there's a picture and there's two legends, and it was Batistuta and Francesco Totti, and they are two world class players. But we spoke on this off air, and I say this on air. They played. Batistuta played for Fiorentina. Totti played for Roma. Neither of those in the 90s were world class teams. Neither of those were world class teams. They had world class. They had some world class players, but neither of those teams were top teams. Them teams were never fighting for Serie A. They were never fighting for Champions Leagues. So that goes to show. Imagine if you put them in this era today. They're two of the best players in the world. Easy.
Definitely.
Not even up for dispute.
They would either be at Real, Barca, you know what I mean, PSG, United. They'd be at them top 5-6 clubs.
The top tier clubs with longevity. Like, you can't tell me that as good as Firmino is, a prime Totti can't do the same thing.
As who?
As a Firmino, I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Like, if to put Totti at Liverpool, who are the best team in the world right now, he improves them. A prime Totti is better than a prime Firmino. You get what I'm saying?
There's no. This is why I don't rate certain players, because of I'm from a different era. Mm-hmm. I cannot look at someone like Firmino and say he's world class. You play as a 9, your job is goals. That's all I see. You have a 9 on your back.
You're a 9.
I see it as, bro. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. The reason why I would still call players world class is because I don't blame them for not being in that era. So that's not on them. All you can do is play who's around. So if you're lucky enough to fall into the era where you are top of your class, you're still top of your class. Because there's no disputing for me how good Firmino is and Aguero as Luis Suarez. But obviously, like you said, with Ronaldo, is nowhere near that generation.
Yeah, there's no comparison.
No comparison. So yeah, with Neymar, he should be. I agree with you 1000% in terms of if he had stayed at Barcelona, he'd be a much better player than he is now. Because I watched him in the World Cup and he was there. Watched him in the World Cup and he was shaky. Like.
And do you know what it is? That's because of it's the level what you're playing at. Say now I play. I don't know. Say like I play at a certain level. Yeah. I play.
If you play Sunday League to say even semi-pro, there's a big difference.
Totally different. Yeah. There's a chasm. It's a big difference. You know what I mean? It's not the same. But then this is what he's not understanding, because the level of the French league, you can tell me the French league is as big as you want it to be. Yeah. You can tell me PSG are the biggest team. They got this money. They got that money. But when, all right, then, the biggest match of the season might be against Lyon. Yeah. Lyon go to play, I don't know, any of a big team in a big league, France. Go play Juventus, for instance. Probably get beat 4-0.
Yeah. There's not much competition. Normally, even say in the Scottish League when it was Rangers and Celtic, there was at least Rangers and Celtic. Whereas PSG is just PSG.
But you see, you know what the difference between Rangers and Celtic is? See, when Rangers and Celtic were popping, you could go there and
Yes, people were back. Technical difficulties during these tough times, but we back. From a third eye view, we out here. So where do you want to? Obviously, we're coming to a close on the show anyway. So where do you want to finish off the show, fam?
Yeah, just saying then, like we were saying before, the technical bugs got us there.
Yeah.
Now we're just saying, with the whole PSG and Barcelona Neymar thing, it was touching upon the fact that the Neymar's dropping quality in that World Cup. That's where we were sorry. Yeah. And then I said it was from maybe because of the league he's playing in. Do you get what I mean? It's and then we've referenced it to the, it's one of those leagues where it's probably you've got one rival, and we referenced it, the Scottish League, but then it's like when you look at the Scottish League in its prime, you could play a Celtic, you could play a Rangers, you weren't battering them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's probably why as well, with Neymar as an individual player struggling to make that jump in terms of for the World Cup. That's probably why PSG struggle in the Champions League. Because if you're playing your Lille's, your Brests, your teams of that nature who are nowhere near your levels, when it comes and you have to be at it against the Bayern Munich, at it against a Liverpool, a City, even a Manchester United, that's hard. You can't turn on and turn off form. It's not switch. You can't like, all right, we're just gonna turn up today and do this. Like it's a rhythm. Like we talk a lot about patterns of play and systems, and that's the same with form. You know what I mean? Like they play yourself into like you're in good form. There's a reason why when teams are playing well, they get very few injuries. Obviously, injuries can happen at any moment, but when your team's on a run and you won 5-6 on the bounce, everyone's jumping. Like things go well for you. So that's probably why PSG do also struggle because they're playing in a league where they've won it by much. So it's foot off the gas, coasting through games.
All right, even like you just said, Man United, you look at them two teams and we beat them. Should we have ever really beat them?
Nah.
I'd say, you know what I mean? Even though they, don't get me wrong, they had injuries, but to me, like
we had injuries though.
Even exactly,
Rashford got injured.
Even just the Mbappe alone, just the Mbappe and Di Maria should be enough for that United team at that time.
Yeah.
We went. This is you have to think. You know, this is before we had Wan-Bissaka. This is before we had Maguire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and the thing is with that as well, they were 2-0 up from the first leg. They were 2-0 up from the first leg. They had won the away leg. I think they were the first team in history to lose. I mean, to get knocked out after winning the away leg 2-0.
There you go. We didn't even have Pogba playing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so no Pogba. Oh yeah, I forgot. Rashford did score the penalty, but did he go off injured in the first game? For some reason, I'm thinking he did. I know Martial went off injured. It might have been Martial and Lingard who went off injured. But I remember definitely 2 players going off injured in that game.
Didn't have our full squad, and I know they might not have, but for the money they spent and the prestige what their name carries, because all right, then that's prestige PSG. That's not prestige Man United.
That's true. That's true. Because had roles been reversed and this was United in their pump and this was PSG on the come up and United had won there 2-0 away. I don't care what injuries you have. If you have 2-3 injuries and you're 2-0 up from the away leg in the Champions League, if you go out, something went terribly wrong.
Yeah.
Something went terribly wrong. For you to lose, like something went and the thing is it's not even like we beat them on penalties or it was extra time. Like 3-1, it's like just manage the game. That's one of them games you can manage the game. Like they have to come just manage it, but obviously that comes into management and tactics. But I hear what you're saying. Obviously, Neymar would have been interesting to see Neymar in that predicament. It may have made a difference. Who knows?
But it's one of them. It still comes down to the overall point of what we're saying is with him, with Barcelona now wanting him back.
Yeah.
Yeah. After look, all right, then let's put it like this. Coutinho, that was a world record transfer. Dembele, world record transfer. Griezmann, he might have not been a world record transfer. It was still over 100 mil.
Big money.
Every one of them went for 100 mil plus.
Yeah.
Would it have not made sense to sit down at the time with him and say, you know what, check this, here's an extra 10 mil on your contract.
Or even just talk to his football and be like, here's the plan. Like, obviously, we don't know if this happened. Here's the plan. We're going to build this team around you. Here's what we're looking to do. Once Messi leaves, you are going to be our main man. Don't go to PSG to be your own man when you can be. You want to be your own man here, or do you want to be your own man in PSG, at PSG?
Because you know what, as well, this is one thing that I've realized as well, saying this point. Moving forward as a football team in Spain anyway, Real Madrid are a lot more equipped at this moment in time. Barca have got if you look at Barca, yeah, you've got Messi. Obviously, we still know he's a footballing goal, yeah. But Suarez is on the decline.
That's true.
You've got your whole problem on your left side there, on your left front three, where you're looking at a Neymar or you're looking to get rid of Griezmann and you're looking to get rid of Dembele and Coutinho. You know what I mean? You've still not really replaced Iniesta or Xavi. You know what I mean? PK is at the PK of his powers. You like that one there? Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
That was nice.
The team's quite old. Do you get what I'm saying?
They're in what Madrid are in a rebuilding stage. Like they've had their cycle of trophies, winners, great players. Now you have to go again. We see it with Madrid. Madrid was struggling up until Madrid went on that run where they won 4 Champions Leagues in like 5 years. They hadn't won it in 10+ years. But they won again. They went and signed Ronaldo, Modric, Cruz, these type of players, Bale, and all these players added to that. So it's like obviously they're not looking for a 10-year. So but same now with Barcelona. They're looking, that cycle's over. They're looking for the next gen to be successful.
But this is the reason, just lastly, why I think Barcelona will struggle more. They only got into this next phase because they had that Messi wait. They're waiting under Ronaldinho.
Right.
Not got that. They've not got that guy now, have they?
Yeah.
I mean,
they need to go big in the transfer market and go inside. We're talking about Neymar or Mbappe. Why not both?
It might have to be.
Why not both? To me, it makes sense. Why not both? Because I think if they don't go and pick up both of those or one or two of those, they have Real Madrid written all over them anyway. There's many a rumor about Neymar going to Real Madrid, and you can just see Mbappe at Madrid in the white kit. It makes sense. He makes so much. I can already see it. It makes so much sense.
If he is unveiling and that, innit?
If he is unveiling already, it makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. But yeah,
he's the replacement, innit? They've both got their Ronaldo and Messi replacements, but whether they get him is a different matter.
That's what I'm saying. Whether they get him is a different matter. That's it. But yes, people, that has been From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio. Like I said, if you're listening to this live, make sure you subscribe to download the Pi Radio app. Check out all the other shows on Pi Radio also. And you can watch this back on YouTube. Just type in Sarcasm City and From a Third Eye View will come up. And you'll also be able to listen to it back on the Pi Radio Spotify and the Pi Radio iTunes. We will be back next week. Hopefully Stroll will feel better. We'll be back. And we'll also keep the special guests rolling as well. Salute to everybody who's supporting. And we will be back next week. Salute.